Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Addicted Fishing podcast. Sitting here in studio with a very special guest. But first off, I want to thank you guys all for coming out bigly on the March 12th drop. We had a bunch of limited items. We still got a few of them up on the website to be sure to check out. We had some really cool flashers in the mix. And that's a great segue because we've got Mr. Shortbus Flashers in the house. JT, what's going on?
Not much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We figure we bring him in here because guess what? It's springer time.
'Tis the season.
I don't know a guy who didn't go out, at least out of my buddies, who didn't catch a springer on that last sunny day a couple days ago.
There were a lot of fish that were posted up on the interweb there. It was pretty impressive. Nice white fish. Looked really good.
Oh, I saw some black faces. And no, we're not talking about anything that's going to get us canceled, folks.
Just the white bellies, sorry.
White bellies. White bellies and black faces. What we're talking about are two different stocks of spring Chinook, but it was a good sign to see them both. Those black-faced fish are the ones that are headed above Bonneville.
That is correct.
And the white-faced ones are the ones that are going in the lower tributaries and the Willamette, which is supposed to get 71,000 fish. So I'm guessing there's got to be a few.
There have been a few that I'm aware of that have been caught downtown and along the slough. And I'm expecting with the water turbidity being up there, you're going to see a lot more of those upriver fish getting caught here in the next days.
Have you gone out yourself yet? We kind of have to ask everybody that.
Not yet. I am a fair weather fisherman,
Fair.
and I am trying to get enough stock built up before I take the days. So I'm waiting a little bit for the season to heat up, and then I will jump out there. So 2 weeks, I think, is what I'm looking at.
It is supposed to be like 62 degrees this Saturday.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I've been eyeballing that too. I'm like, man, I kind of had a little change of plans on my schedule tomorrow too, but I'm going to be actually putting all my spring Chinook stuff together tomorrow. I'm going to be tying everything up, putting everything fresh lines, fresh everything, fresh flashers, because you guys got a couple new ones out that are definitely going to be put into the arsenal this year.
I'm very excited for the new flashers. Definitely the dipped chrome were awesome there. Now we have the pink and the greens coming out, so I think it's going to be a good year, and I'm excited to see the results of it once people get them wet.
What are you calling these dipped? Are they just chrome pink and chrome chartreuse?
That is correct. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't seen these, he basically came out with the chrome dip, the chrome dip super series last year, which was absolute banger. Number one in my boat, hands down.
Thank you.
Day in and day out. I added a couple little flare colors to some, but really just that having that good base and that chrome just does not trip. I put them through props. I got them stepped on. I got them ripped around in the nets. That chrome does not flake off like some of the other flashers. So you did a freaking fantastic job on that. It's the absolute staple to my fall Chinook fishery by far. And then now you've got chrome dipped triangles, which I haven't used yet. But did you throw those around last year at all?
I used them on my personal boat, yes. And you were part of the inspiration of that when I got into your boat to have the pleasure to fish with you. And I saw some of your tape jobs that you went a little crazier than I do. And I thought, well, shoot, dang, if he can put that much tape on there to make it all chrome, I can do that too. So
you did it much better, much better.
I will say we have a little bit different techniques, but yours worked definitely. But I think ours is a little bit cleaner, yes. So hopefully
very clean, very flashy. I'm a very big fan of chrome. In fact, even back, you have the mirror chrome flashers in the triangle, which is tape on two sides. But now it's you got more. You could figure out how to put more chrome on there, and you did.
That's right. We take it to 11, definitely.
So I'm looking forward to fishing those. What else do you got in the pipeline too? Because last year you guys came out with some of your hoochie spinners, and then you came out with soft spinners as well.
Correct. So the hoochie spinners that you're talking about there, the double hooks, have been a new addition to us there. We also have the new slide and locks. That way it stops the line twist that the 360s are definitely known for. And the newest parts that you've been talking about are the pink and the chartreuse mirror, both 360s and some triangles. So steel headers, I know that's getting towards the end of the season. Everybody's gearing up for springers. We do have the casting spinners out also.
What else do we got coming out down the pipe? Come on, you got to tease. What can you do now? Because I didn't think you could go on the chrome dipped part on the flashers, and then you came out with steel spinners. You came out with soft spinner, what? And then you came out with slide lock. So what's next?
Well, I was shocked.
Tease it out.
I got a lot of messages right when we released the colors there, and everybody had about 38 different ideas for colors. So we'll probably have to expand on that. And I guess we all know that there are other species of fish out there that we can branch out to someday. but that's about as far as I'm going to say on that part of it.
Are you branching out into the smallmouth bass world? I need to know.
Bass is a big deal in shortbus world. Yeah. So I'm thinking if we can get a flasher out there for bass, we're going to we're working on it.
Funny story though. A buddy of mine last year up in the gorge trying to troll just outside the box, had his fish from one of the river mouths, just went up mid-channel 30 feet, dumped him down. He said he caught smallmouth after smallmouth after smallmouth on your spinners and a super series flasher. So you might already be there. You just got to fish it a little bit. Who knows?
It's amazing what you see the pictures from. I have customers up in Alaska that will send me pictures with shark, halibut, and the flashers work for that. And I think, all right, well, yeah, that's exactly what we made them for, is for fish. So that works. So
we were joking today. I actually had the privilege of taking out Mr. Ramsey today, kokanee fishing, and some of the kokanee would come in kind of spinning sideways, like, oh, looks like one of JT's flashers spinning sideways because it's so bright. So it emulates a lot of those bait fish and a lot of the big stuff that's out there. But speaking of colors, so we're getting into the spring Chinook season. Everybody, in fact, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight on the live feed. Everybody's going to be talking about how and what we're going to do, or can you catch a spring Chinook in the Lower Columbia on a 360 Shortbus Super Series flasher? Yes or no?
You can. And as many arguments as I've had with people there, you can run 360s and triangles at the same time. They don't fight. You can take them as slow as you want for the presentation. I think about the only change that I would say from a spring aspect to a fall aspect is maybe a little bit longer leader back to your bait. Would be the only change that I personally make on my boat when I'm running the 360s for the springers. But triangles also work because sometimes in the Columbia and some of the rivers, you want to be down on the very bottom. And it's easier to follow the bottom with a triangle versus a 360. So depends on your technique.
You don't think it's a water temperature thing or a color thing? Or what do you think drives that? Because for a while there, a lot of people would say, oh, springers won't, cold water, they won't bite springers. Or springers won't bite, excuse me.
I think that there's been enough people that throw the Hail Mary out there. I'm not getting a bite, so I'm going to try this. And then come to find out, we may not know everything that fish bite on a certain day. I've been out testing products there thinking there's no way in heck that this is going to work. I'm just going to try it to make sure it works. And sure enough, you catch a fish, be it a 360 when the water is below 50 degrees. As odd as that is, it does work. You just have to have the right presentation, the right color, and the right bait.
Well, speaking of colors, because I know you talk to a lot of guys, you guys do custom tape jobs and custom orders, right? For guides and people and anglers around the Northwest.
Guides are the most notorious for having it customized. They never want to have the same thing that anybody else does. They want the upper hand. And to be very truthful there, that's where I get a lot of my ideas, is you guys are great to work with there, give me a lot of feedback. And you can tell when something's working because all of a sudden the clicks that they run in, and all of their buddies will call up saying, hey, you got that special custom that you made for Cam, and you can only play dumb for so long. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I just made it in my shop last week, but
yeah. So there's a lot of feedback, which is fabulous with that, and that does help us out. It's a instant testing where we can say, yes, this works. This combination works.
What would you say last year for let's break this up into two different categories, because I think when we talk like Willamette springers and we say river names here because there's only going to be 70,000 of them coming back there, but let's talk about like early Columbia. And with you talking to the amount of people that you talk about with your flasher, favorite one color, or do you have one?
For me personally?
No, for like the collective, anglers. What did you hear more? Was it more chartreuse? Was it greens? Just run the chromes and let it rip?
Beginning of the year with the water turbidity up there, a lot of people like products like the Hallucinator, your darker colors, because of the darker water. The darker colors have a bigger profile. Once the water starts clearing up, below 10 on the turbidity, So
you're talking Willamette?
I'm talking the Willamette.
Okay, so you said the Hallucinator for the dark blade for the muddier water.
Correct. Got which once it starts to clear up, then anything with chartreuse is a big hit for springers there. That's your chartreuse hunters, your addicted series, the addicted twisted ones in all of the finishes. A lot of the things with chrome, people really gravitated towards the chrome with the different fluorescent colors. So those were a big deal very early in the season, and then obviously transitioned over into the 360s once the water got up.
What about in the Columbia, Lower Columbia? I mean, kind of hard to gauge it, but some of the guys that are fishing down there, would you say, do they stick more to just the straight chromes, or?
A lot of the straight chromes there. It's interesting, the closer you get to the to the mouth of it, you get more of the old school guys that are just the hardcore. I'm going to do the chartreuse Kelly type of colors, the very basics. Sometimes you'll see them go out into the other colors with a little bit of the fluorescent, but a lot of the fish scales go down there. Once the here local guides start chasing fish there, that's where you start seeing like your Sweet Abbeys and the electric pole dancers start going. I get it. Sometimes they just don't work in certain places.
Like my boat.
That's why we have 800 different color options.
No, I'm referring to the Sweet Abbeys not working.
It's probably one of my best selling flashers onto there, but I'm in the same boat as you. It's where I fish, the Chartreuse Hunter works much better for me than it. But I always tell people that you want to, whatever you have confidence in, fish that color there, because you're going to watch your rod more. You're going to follow the bottom. You're going to make sure your bait's better if you trust everything you have on there.
The Chartreuse Hunter, remind me, is that the half chartreuse, like a 50-50 straight up and down split with like a fish scale, like chartreuse and chrome?
It's with the chartreuse and the clear UV, so you can see the silver coming through. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, no. And it was funny because that blade and then like my mirror chromes was all I ran last year, because you told me that.
Yeah, mirror chromes are tough to beat there. I didn't realize how big of a deal they were when we really got into this and started getting the production going. It is amazing the amount of flash that they put off there, and it is a fish magnet.
Well, now you got even better ones. So
I sure hope so. There.
What about spinner blades? What are you hearing on spinner blades? Or are you hearing anything yet? Or could you like refer to last year? Like what was the hot ticket last yeyer? Maybe for the Willamette. Let's start there.
Last year there wasn't a. Usually it's a little bit later. A lot of people run the bait early, and then switch over to the spinners and your super baits and the spin fish. At that point there, so it's a little bit late at that point. Usually I see a lot more sales in the fall for the spinners personally.
All right, we got 1 minute left, so give me the quick rundown on what people need to be stocking up for this fall on your spinner colors, because what was your popular one last year?
Godfather, Ant Flow were the tough ones to keep in stock. Your Mexican hats in the golden copper are always a great standby and will fish in any situation. So if you see something of those colors there, I would grab them.
Yeah, because fall's coming.
Fall is
6 months, 6 months away.
It can't get here soon enough. That's the warm weather where I actually go out there in flip flops and enjoy this fishery.
Well, you might get a chance here, hopefully, really soon. Thanks for coming in, JT, and giving everyone kind of the color rundown, the new products, all that good stuff. You know, we over here at Addicted have supported JT, and JT has supported us for 10 years now. It's been a long while, so be sure to check out his products. And you guys know that if it's in my boat, you know, we're running it, and hopefully catching a lot of fish on it. So either way, thanks for coming in, dude. We've got a live feed to go to, and we'll check you guys out later.